Welcome to the Explainer. We spend so much time looking at spreadsheets and numbers, but today we're going to talk about what really drives business success, and that is people. Let's dive in. So let's kick things off with this really powerful idea from our source material. It's this: the best businesses, the ones that truly last, they're not just built on some cold, sterile formula. No, they're authentic, living extensions of the people who started them. Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to follow a classic founder's journey. We'll start with why business is all about people, then build the foundation, look at the dangers of going it alone, find a smarter way to work, and wrap up with the magic of creative collabs. All right, Section 1. Business is about people. The modern marketplace it's completely changed. The old rules just don't apply anymore. And this is such a critical point to get. We've moved way past the time when just making a good product was enough. Today, the real currency, it's connection, it's trust. Think about it. You don't just buy a thing, you buy from a person you trust. Okay, so if we agree that business is about people, then that means your business has to start with you. It all comes back to you. Let's look at the 3 pillars that make this whole thing work. So here they are. First, your brand. Second, your skill. And third, your understanding of your customer. It's that simple. But the real magic is how these 3 things play off each other.
So, pillar 1, brand. And this is so important. It's not what you say you are, it's what people perceive you to be. You could have 2 identical stands selling oranges, right? Why does someone pick yours? It's your story, your personality, your vibe. That's brand.
And this slide just lays it out so perfectly, doesn't it? Look at how things have changed. We went from the industrial age, who can make the most stuff, to the distribution age, who has the most stores. Then came the internet. And now we're in the personal brand age. It's all about who you trust. That is the game today. Okay, pillar number 2, skill. This is pretty straightforward. It's your ability to actually do something well over and over again. You can't just run promotions forever. At the end of the day, you have to deliver the goods. That's what builds real loyalty. And pillar 3, customer understanding. And I mean deep understanding. It's about knowing their pain points, maybe even better than they do themselves. And see how it all clicks together? Your amazing skill means nothing if you don't understand what problem to solve. And your brand is what makes them trust that your skilled solution is the right one for them. It's a perfect triangle.
But here's the thing. Even if you have all 3 of those pillars locked down, there's a huge trap that so many entrepreneurs fall into. And the story from our source material here is just, wow, it's the perfect example of this. So put yourself in this situation. Imagine you've just created something amazing, something you've poured your soul into, like a book. You're ready to launch. And then, bam, a global pandemic hits. Everything shuts down. And you have to do it all by yourself.
So he wakes up one morning and his phone has just exploded. 400 text messages. His immediate thought is dread, like something terrible has happened. But it wasn't bad news. It was 400 separate sales confirmations for his book. In that moment, success felt like a total disaster. So instead of working on his next book or creating more great stuff, his days were suddenly filled with logistics, writing social media posts, running ads, and literally packing every single book by hand. Answering emails about tracking numbers. He was hiding from the world just to wrap books in bubble wrap. The work was useful, sure, but it wasn't valuable. He was completely drowning. And this is where he learned his biggest lesson. Trying to be the solo hero, trying to do everything yourself, you just can't compete. It's impossible. It kills your quality, it stops you from growing, and honestly, it just drives you crazy. But that really painful moment led to a huge breakthrough. A totally new way of thinking about how to build a team and get things done right. So check this out. It's the old way versus the new way. The old way, you hire a staff, a fixed team that has to try and do everything. The new way, you outsource specific tasks to the absolute best person you can find for that one job. It's flexible, it's agile, and you get top-tier quality every single time. I mean, it just makes sense, right? You wouldn't make your video team, who are experts at shooting studio interviews, go and shoot a documentary about bungee jumping. It's not their specialty. It's not fair to them, and you're not going to get the best result. So the takeaway is simple, but it's so powerful. Hire the best. Period. Focus on your unique genius and let other geniuses handle the rest. All right, so if we take that idea of hiring the best and we level it up, we get to the final and maybe the most powerful strategy, creative collabs. And let's be clear, this is not just about, putting two logos on a t-shirt. A true creative collaboration is a deep partnership. It's about two sides coming together to create a brand new solution, something that actually changes how people behave and creates real long-term value for everyone. Okay, this case study is just brilliant. You've got a coffee brand, and they want to break into China. Huge problem, right? China is a nation of tea drinkers. So what do? Instead of trying to force coffee on people, they partner with a super popular local snack brand. They create a coffee-flavored version of that snack, and just like that, millions of people are introduced to the taste of coffee in a way that feels familiar and safe. It's a long game, but over time, it literally changes the country's palate and opens up a massive new market. And that right there is the holy grail. It's a win-win-win. Company A gets a new market, Company B gets a hot new product, and the customer, they get a cool new experience. That's how you build something that lasts, not just something that gives you a quick bump in sales. So what's the big idea here? It's that you have unique assets. You have your knowledge, your network, your personal story. The biggest opportunities for you might not come from just grinding harder on your own. They might come from creatively connecting with someone else. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What amazing new solution could you create if you just collaborated?